I'm joined now by another member of the Ways and Means Committee, somebody who knows quite a bit about this issue, Congresswoman Susan DelBene. She's a Democrat from Washington State and chair of the centrist New Democrat Coalition. So, Congressman, I can't think of a better person to ask here, given the reticence from Senator Sinema here on the tax question. What are your other options to come up with that revenue?
Well, I think the Ways and Means Committee did a great job. We went through a markup. We had a really well thought through policy. And I know Chairman Neal made the point to the senator about how important it is for us to make sure we have policy that's well vetted. So we'll continue to push that point. My hope is that continue to work with the senator and her staff. We can come up with some great solutions on the revenue side. But I think the Ways and Means legislation is really the important template for us to start from.
If you're talking about still starting from a template, how realistic do you think the majority leader's time frame is of aiming to get a vote on this bill next week? It's not even really a bill yet, is my understanding.
Well, ours is a bill.
That's true.
We have very
true.
specific legislation that came out of the Ways and Means Committee. So anything we take from there is pretty much ready to go. And frankly, I think that we have the opportunity to move quickly. A lot of the data is out there. Now folks need to decide. And we've had a lot of discussions for a long time. Folks have to decide. Clearly, we need 50 votes in the Senate. We need 218 in the House. But the president is pushing folks to come to closure, which I think is so, so important. And we need to move because the American people want to see us govern. And this is critical to doing that. We can't help anyone until we get legislation across the finish line.
When I'm on the Hill talking to your colleagues over the last couple of weeks, I've heard a lot of frustration about information siloing. Who knows what about where who stands on these negotiations? Did you hear anything from the president last night that you didn't already know in terms of the negotiating positions of Democrats involved in this?
No, we had great conversation with the president earlier in the week and had a discussion about a lot of the specifics that came up in the town hall last night. And that was a really positive sign because we know that in order to get to the finish line, we have to talk specifics. And so I thought the meetings earlier this week with the president were so important because we're doing that. And that's important progress. And also as a reason, I think we're much closer to getting it done and feel like there's an opportunity for us to get it done very soon. And that's my hope. And that's what we're going to continue to push for.
Can you take our viewers inside that meeting a little bit? I mean, what was the president's message to you? What was your message to the president?
Well, my message to the president and was in earlier meetings that we had is that we need to make sure we do things well. There's been a lot of discussion about a number, and a number doesn't resonate with anyone. They don't know what we're doing with the resources that are going to impact families. We need to talk about policy, and the New Dem Coalition has always been clear what our policy priorities are, making sure we extend the child tax credit and keep it refundable, making sure that we continue the ACA premium subsidies and address the Medicaid coverage gap, and that we go big on climate. We have always been clear with the president on that. And I think the president has asked folks to come to the table and say what their top priorities are. We have done that from the beginning. I think that's important. I think he pushed others to come, and now he has taken that feedback and started to put together a piece of legislation. And I want to see the child tax credit extended longer, going to continue to push for that because we need stable, durable policy. But this is an important part of the conversation now is that we are having those discussions and looking at how we land this plane.
All right, Congresswoman DelBene, it could be a busy week for both of us next week on the Hill. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.